This is one of the useful skills videos, and I'm going to be showing you how to put a plant into a patio planter. So I have my gloves and my wellies on for PPE, and I've got my equipment ready. I have an empty pot on my patio. I've got the plants that I want to put in there. I've got 3 agapanthus to put in there today, and I have got some crocks, which is pieces of broken pot. I've got some compost, a trowel, and I've got a watering can. Okay, so the pot you choose, it's quite important that it has a hole in the bottom. So if you imagine when it rains, it's going to rain on my pot, and if the pot just fills up with water, the plants inside are going to rot. The roots don't like to be sitting in water. So that hole down the bottom is for drainage, and the crocks are to protect the hole. So the first job is going to be protecting the hole. If you don't use these crocks to protect the hole, what happens is the roots and the compost form a kind of a plug at the bottom of the pot planter, and the hole gets plugged anyway. So again, the rain can't drain out. So what I'm going to do is place some of these crocks over the hole to protect it. Making almost like a little pyramid, like that. Okay, job number 2, we're going to fill it with compost. Firming it down a little bit, because as we know, the roots don't like air. Now at this point, I'm going to put some moisture control crystals in, just because patio planters can get ever so dry. So I'm going to sprinkle some of these into the compost. And what they'll do is every time it rains or every time I water the planter, they'll absorb the water and hold it in there longer than the compost can. So I'm filling it nearly to the top, allowing room for the plants to go in. Crumbling up the lumps. Okay, so I have some agapanthus here that I bought from our school. You lot planted these from Mr. Locke's seeds again. So you can tell they need a new pot because you can see the roots coming out the bottom. So I'm going to give each pot a squeeze. Carefully tip the pot upside down. Right. You can see how the roots are growing around in a circle, so we need to release them. So when we put them in the pot, they can start growing downward into the new soil. Release the tangle a little bit. Right, I'm going to make a hole about the same size as the pot. Now agapanthus like to be squashed a little bit in a pot. It makes them flower more. Now each time I get a plant, I'm going to check for the damaged leaves, because if any of these leaves are mouldy, the mould might spread through the whole plant. So let's get rid of them. There you go. Release the roots again, or give them a little tickle, as we say at school. Big lump there, I'm squeezing that out. I'm arranging them into a bit of a triangle because I think that would look nice. Give the roots a tickle. go, that big tangle, there we go. Put them in. Right, now there are gaps in between these plants. I'm going to consolidate around the plants. That means firming down to get rid of any air. If you don't do that, there'll be lots of air in the compost, and when you water the plants, the roots won't be able to make contact with the water. So I've created some more gaps, so let's get some compost in the gaps. So I'm consolidating again as I go. Give the plants a little push down in case there's any air pockets underneath. Okay, so all that remains to be done is give them a good old water to settle them into their new pot. I'm going to let that water sink a bit. But if you imagine it sinking down through the pot, it's not going to be reaching the bottom yet, and I want plenty of water in this pot, so I'm going to keep going. Wait for it to sink again. Okay, so that's enough water for now, but what I'll probably do is come back later on and give it another water just to make sure it's all the way down to the bottom of the pot. So that's it, and now you know how to put a plant into a patio planter.